I can't think of anything that a congregation can do that would be more unifying and more exciting and more stimulating than to actually get involved in overseas mission. Well, the beginning of all this was when I decided to apply for an all-age team through PCI, and I ended up leading that team to Romania, working with Ilona and Chuba, and they had a vision of moving on to Ukraine. And so 2 years later, I think it was, the first team went to Ukraine, and I was on that as well. And when I came home from that, I got an email from a school in Ukraine quite close to where our team had been, and they asked if I could bring a team to teach English in the school. I felt that I really ought to ask the congregation, and a lot of people felt led by God to go on a team. And so our first team went to the school in Neubreck, and that was the beginning of a series of, I think, 7 teams.
The more times we go out, the stronger that connection is, and it links. We're building a stronger bond, and they're learning from us and we're learning from them.
Obviously, all of this has really meant crossing thresholds for a lot of people. There's the threshold of my decision to go to a camp first of all, and then in a sense the threshold of coming back and sharing that with the congregation, leading to other people going in teams. But perhaps one of the most exciting things was one year one of our younger members of the congregation, Jenny Wolfe, decided that she would come on a team with us, and I don't think it's too strong to say she fell in love with Ukraine and the people there with her. And so she took a very big step and crossed a very big threshold by deciding that she would go and be a language assistant and supervisor in the dormitory part of the school for a year. And with the help of PCI, she was able to go. We were the sending congregation, and I think the fact that people from here have actually gone overseas, even for a short time, and Jenny for a year, has stimulated that interest. Going on overseas mission has given us a bigger view of God.
We taught them a song. It was Our God's Great Big God, and we just sung that over and over with them over the 10 days we were there. It is true, He is really big, and I didn't realise how big until I was there and heard them singing it back to me and back to us, and we stood in circles and held hands, and it was just the strength of their singing has just brought tears to my eyes. I was crying at one point.
It's helped us, I think, particularly in outreach to our own community. When you start going overseas and you think we're going on a mission team, then you look at the village that you visit, and sometimes you wonder, why am I here? Are there not these same problems at home? There are people who are disaffected, there are people with money problems, people with social problems, people with family problems, and you realise it's something of a reflection of your own community. And also when you are overseas and you meet with other Christians and you see aspects of their faith and conditions, situations in which they have got to rely on God in a way that we maybe don't, and their needs are being met. You realise God is here and working. And it also helps to realise that when you get back to Islandmagee, God is here and will work here too. So I think we're maybe more positive in our attitudes to what could happen, because God is a big God.